It's the Advil Mini-Marathon. Now let's join Donna DeVerona and Marty LaCroix.
Okay, everybody stand here. Today, a tradition continues as thousands of women runners, from high-paid New York City models to hard-working moms and grandmoms, meet in New York City's Central Park for a pre-race warm-up session. Although this event has produced so many legendary running stars, its strength comes from the numbers of women and young girls, many of them mothers and daughters, who run just because they love to, who are here, some for the first time, because through running they've discovered what it feels like to be strong and fit, to set tangible physical goals, to participate with family and friends, and to take this special opportunity in an all-women's race to run alongside the best in the world. Welcome to New York City's Central Park for ABC's same-day coverage of the Advil Mini-Marathon. The first of its kind, this race celebrates its 23rd year. Hello, I'm Donna DeVerona. On this sunny day, over 6,000 entrants will take their places at the starting line for this 10-kilometer or 6.2-mile race. Among those racing today will be two who have won here before. Both are Kenyans and represent a strong force in women's running. Delilah Asiago, who crossed the finish line first in 1991, and the defending champion is Tekla LaRoupe. She's here as well. But they're not without challengers. With me is Marty LaCroix.
Well, as Tekla LaRoupe herself told us, the field this year is much stronger. Tekla will be tough to beat, but she's astute enough to know that Conceição Ferreira of Portugal has the fastest time in the world this year, and that Nadia Prasad of France, who won the boulder-to-boulder race Monday in near record time, is still rapidly improving. But even though there are women from every continent in the race, the local favorite, Anne-Marie Letko of New Jersey, has the experience, and with her family here today, the extra motivation to win. What started out as a celebration of women's participation in running has become the most prestigious women's road race in the world.
And a beautiful day for a run in Central Park. The temperature 74 degrees, the humidity a low 28%, no wind to speak of. The world best time held by Liz McColgan, who won this race. America's best time held by Lynn Jennings. And of course the course record is held by the great Greta Weiss. And they're off. Over 6,000 in this race today. They'll head north on Central Park West, one of this city's most famous avenues, past million-dollar condos and Art Deco buildings, one of which was used for scenes in the Ghostbusters. Up ahead, they'll pass the landmark Dakota building, where John Lennon lived, and the Museum of Natural History. Then they'll continue on into Central Park, where 14 million people visit each year.
Well, as we look at the lead pack, not a big surprise here as number 5, Anne-Marie Letko, is setting the pace. That's something she almost always does in the big races. In her last race, San Francisco's Bay to Breakers, she was third. She did not lead that race, and Tekla LaRoupe won it.
And on her shoulder is Nadia Prasad, who last Monday won the boulder-to-boulder in a very fast time. And this part of the course may be fast and smooth, but look what's up ahead.
When Frederick Olmsted and Calvert Vaux designed Central Park, I'm sure they never envisioned a near-perfect test of a runner's talents and resolve. The 29 blocks along Central Park West provide the runners ample time to sort themselves out and establish their desired pace before entering the park for 3 miles of rolling hills, which ensure that a runner's strength will be well tested. Less than 40% of the course is flat. The last 2 miles are a gradual, unyielding rise, allowing no relief in the final grind to the finish line. Should you lack the adrenaline to sprint towards the finish at Tavern on the Green, the crowd will gladly give you some of theirs.
Anne-Marie Letko setting the pace. Carmen de Oliveira, number 11, pulling up in the yellow jersey. She's a superstar in Brazil. Holds every South American record distance from the 3,000 all the way up to the marathon. We'll have to keep an eye on her. In this sea of white, the largest group by age is 30 to 39-year-olds, by profession, teachers and educators. Krista Hoffman is the youngest at 6 years of age. She's from New York City. The oldest, Mildred Miller, 82, from the Bronx. There are over 138 mother-daughter teams, 125 sister teams, and 4 grandmother-granddaughter entries.
It's interesting now that at the front of the pack, Nadia Prasad, number 27, is challenging for the lead. When she won the Boulder race on Monday, she took off and just left Uta Pippig, who won the Boston and New York City Marathon. So it makes sense that she's trying to lead here again today. But unfortunately, Anne-Marie Letko also wants to lead.
After this race is completed today, over 110,000 will have crossed the finish line in this, the oldest women's road race in history. We'll be back for more of the Advil Mini-Marathon.
During my last physical, I happened to mention that the Tylenol I took for my tough headaches wasn't always getting rid of all the pain. So my doctor recommended Advil. He told me that for tough headaches, 2 Advil worked better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets, better than extra-strength Tylenol caplets, better than Tylenol gel caps. Now for my tough headaches, I take what my doctor recommends by name, Advil. It just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
To a 7-year-old, velocity, mass, and momentum are as interesting as the song on the radio. And crash test dummies don't go on family vacations. But the people who buy Volkswagen Jettas do. That's why the new Jetta has dual airbags, front and rear crumple zones, side impact beams, and a rigid passenger safety cage. Velocity, mass, and momentum don't mean much to children, and we plan on keeping it that way. For a limited time, you can lease a Volkswagen Jetta for 0 down payment and just $199 a month.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
Saturday, the triumphant story of one boy's battle against a corrupt system.
I can either shut up and take it, or I can fight.
For Wonder Years, Fred Savage.
Things are gonna change. Go, Mike!
When You Remember Me, Saturday here on ABC. Sunday, when strange things happen in Metropolis.
Great shades of Elvis.
Tell him the Invisible Man was here.
Who's there? I've got a weapon.
Only one man can stop them. Lewis and Clark, Sunday on ABC.
Derby winner Gopher Gin and Preakness champ Tabasco can't meet in the final jewel of the Triple Crown. The Belmont Stakes live next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
In 1972, mini-skirt and fashion, the inaugural mini-marathon attracted 78 entrants and as many male hecklers. The race was founded by a Romanian immigrant, Fred Lebow, to encourage women to run distances in hopes that someday both the 10K and the marathon would be on the Olympic program. Both are. What Fred couldn't have imagined was that the great Greta Weitz, who would win 5 minis and 9 marathons, would be the one to accompany Fred on his dream, to run in his own marathon through 5 boroughs of New York. Sadly, 3 years before this run, he had been diagnosed with brain cancer. Crossing the finish line was Fred's 60th birthday present to himself. And today, this friend of running is still battling cancer and working on his dream. Well, Fred did not make it to the race today, although yesterday he did celebrate his 62nd year with friends and family. Happy birthday, Fred. Still leading the pack and setting the pace, Anne-Marie Letko from New Jersey, with her Brazilian star, 28-year-old Carmen de Oliveira, who currently resides in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and French star Nadia Prasad, who grew up in New Caledonia, an island off of Australia. And she lives in Boulder, Colorado. They sure like to train out there, don't they, Marty?
Well, it's not only the high altitude there, but the attitude of the other runners in that town. Interestingly, of all the runners in this front pack, the one runner that doesn't train at high altitude is Anne-Marie Letko. She lives in Atlanta most of the time. Now, Tekla LaRue in second, along with De Oliveira. Then it's Jane Amaro, number 21, another Kenyan. Then Nadia Prasad's dropped back, and then Conceição Ferreira. Anne-Marie Letko is trained by an old training buddy of mine, Tom Fleming, who said she's doing great workouts right now.
Fleming has won the New York City Marathon twice. He also said Anne-Marie is a delight to work with because she's so self-motivated, a trait she's undoubtedly learned from her mom.
I think if I had the attitude and the motivation with my mom that I'd probably be an Olympic champion. She's been battling breast cancer for 5 years now, and it's kind of come back, and then it goes away, and it comes back, and it's just come back again. And she just has the most courageous attitude out there. She feels great. She looks great. She got out of the hospital just this past Friday. The next day went out walking. She right now she doesn't walk quite as far, but she usually walks 6 miles a day, every day, and she just has a great attitude, and I think that that's something that I've learned, and especially, say, with this Advil race, with women of all calibers running, I think that really puts everything in perspective, that you don't have to be a champion, you can be a first-time runner. Everybody's in it together, and they get the same things out of it.
Well, the whole family's in this race together because they're all here to cheer Anne-Marie on. Her 3 brothers, her youngest one's 8 years old. He says, I like to run, but I like baseball better.
Anne-Marie herself played Little League Baseball. Tekla LaRoupe's upbringing was a little different. I asked her if her parents were runners, and she said her mother used to run faster than her when they were chasing cows. And I asked her how long ago that was. She said it was 3 years ago. What a mother-daughter team they would make. Well, Nadia Prasad has dropped back. Jana Moro, number 21, the Kenyan, is in good position, as well as Conceição Ferreira. But the lead pack now has gelled once again as Carmen de Oliveira has come back to be with the leaders.
This is Carmen de Oliveira's first experience at the Mini-Marathon in Central Park. She had her first child at 15 years of age. That child's now 13, and she has another one that's 6 years old.
Well, we've heard over and over again that women, no matter what event they participate in, are stronger after childbirth. Talking about stronger, Anne-Marie Letko's upper body is very strong. She does a lot of weightlifting compared to someone like Tekla LaRoupe, who mostly does just running. And Anne-Marie can really attack the hills and continue to pump her arms long after some other people might get tired in the upper body.
She certainly needs that strength for these hills on this course, and she's led all the way. You could say she's been the rabbit ever since this race began.
One thing that's interesting, at the press conference yesterday, all the women said that they wouldn't drink water. The race is too short, but they have been stopping because it's well over 70 degrees, so they've been getting water along the course. But not Anne-Marie Letko, who's been intent on keeping the lead.
Carmen de Oliveira and Tekla LaRoupe have been trying to hold on to Anne-Marie Letko's pace here at the Advil Mini-Marathon.
Hold on is a good way of putting it. Her coach, Tom Fleming, says training her makes him feel like Ben-Hur trying to control the chariot. He said Anne-Marie just has to be held back. She feels she needs to win every race.
He also said that she's one that writes everything down, she puts down her goals, and then she sets out to accomplish them. A 5:11 for a hilly third mile means the pace is still strong. And a big goal for Anne-Marie has been to win a major race in Central Park. We'll be back for the finish of the Advil Mini-Marathon to see if she can.
After running so far, I thought the end of the race was the end of me. Every muscle hurt. I needed something for the pain. I used to take aspirin or Tylenol, but now I've switched to Advil. When I hurt like this, I need Advil.
You know, for muscle aches, doctors recommend Advil most. And Advil is gentler to my stomach than aspirin. Now when the race is over, it's Advil for my muscle aches. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Whoa! What a game!
Who gave us the euchre?
He's a lot tougher than he looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Right now, for instance, I can't even find another guy that was with me between the dead and growing old, not wanting to remember.
I go to a ball game when they
played a Star-Spangled Banner, I think of my brother John.
AT&T invites you to join us in saluting the true heroes of D-Day and all those who have fought for freedom.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
At National Car Rental, everything we do is aimed at one single goal, to keep you moving. So choose National, because green means go.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
T-minus 3, 2, 1. We have ignition and lift. We have liftoff.
The World Cup blasts off this summer on ABC.
We are back in Central Park where Anne-Marie Letko and defending champion Kenya's Tekla Laroup are still maintaining a fast pace and are sharing the lead.
As they come to the top of every hill, Anne-Marie Letko is putting on a little surge. She gets away, but then Laroup is reeling her back in.
Letko looking very strong on the hills. Carmen de Oliveira, Brazil's star champion, is falling back.
She really dropped back on the biggest hill of the course. There's quite a battle going on for third place, and right now Anne-Marie is opening up a little bit on Tekla Laroup. Coming into the race, Tekla gave every indication that she was ready to defend her championship here.
Tekla Laroup trains in Germany, away from her tribe in Kenya.
Right now, things are really changing at the back of the pack. That's the back of Jane Amaro, who's just been passed by Conceição Ferreira of Portugal. Ferreira likes to run the last part of the race fast. She is the world marathon champ. She was third in the world cross country, but that finish line is fast approaching. Anne-Marie Letko taking the opportunity going around the corner to look back and see if she has put this race away. She is opening up a gap on Tekla Laroup, but Ferreira is starting to close. This is the battle for second place right now. Interesting enough, Tekla Laroup won Bay de Breakers, a race in which Anne-Marie Letko was only third, so what a difference 2 weeks make. This is the lonely part of the race because the crowd is all around the corner at the finish line. There's not a lot of cheering here, but this is the place where it hurts the most. Quite a lead there. You can see how large the lead is, but it's getting smaller with every step. De Oliveira in third place now and just able to maintain her pace. There's a good shot of Ferreira in second and De Oliveira in third.
Ferreira putting on a surge in the last 2 miles of this race. Marty, does it mean that she didn't go out fast enough and she has too much left?
No question about it. She let it go too late. She said before the race she wanted to run the first 3 miles easy. You see, last year in the race, the pace was fast and everyone came back. But this year, Anne-Marie Letko didn't come back.
And it certainly is Anne-Marie Letko's race. As a little girl, she used to watch the great Greta Wrights cross the finish line in first. In her notebook of goals, she must have written this ending. And this race strategy. From the very start, she took the lead and kept it. Ferreira is second. Carmen de Oliveira hung on for third. The first 4 women's finishers in the Advil Mini-Marathon were from 4 different continents. But the winner, Anne-Marie Letko, is just from across the Hudson. Her time, 31:52, makes her the 10th American woman to win this mini-marathon. At the finish line, Marty LaCroix talked to this local favorite and her family about what this win meant to her.
This one definitely is the closest to my heart. I mean, this one meant so much to me. I had a huge support here with my family. I'm just happy to come through. We've had a rough week and a half, and just to win this one, this is just great.
Sandy, your daughter says she gets a lot of inspiration from you because you always go out and do your workout every day. How different is it to be able to watch her than to get a long-distance phone call from somewhere around the world?
Oh, it's great watching her. It's really wonderful seeing it all in person. And she works very hard, and she really deserves to win.
All right, well, congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
On this day of over 6,000 all-women participants, where mothers and daughters compete together, this mini-marathon was won by a daughter and dedicated to an inspirational mom who faces the biggest battle of her life. To the Let Go family, our congratulations, best wishes, and prayers. For Marty LaQuarrie, I'm Donna DeVerona saying goodbye from the 23rd running of the Advil Mini-Marathon.
Coming up, more from the Hilton